This is really a dystopian nightmare that we're slowly stumbling into step by step, inch by inch, millimeter by millimeter. Now, I sound like a broken record at this point, but I will continue to talk about some things that are negative. No matter how much you try and put lipstick on a pig, it is not going to change facts that are being presented from credible sources. And as things continue down the path to the dystopian nightmare, more and more facts keep coming out. Now, for that reason, I try and cover them, try and point these things out. Maybe it allows you to prepare for what could be coming. Maybe you just find it entertaining, I don't know. I'm a bit late on this one. People in Hexco would be aware that there's currently a big premiere of The Highest of Stakes now, limited to the US. I heard something about somewhere in the UK, possibly England, another country. But yeah, so keep an eye out for that. But while that is going on, which is great news for Hex, and Richard Hart and Pulse Chain, PulseX, apparently the SEC seems to tie them all together, which has also been going on, which I'll cover in a minute also. This has been going on here in Australia. Now, it's been going on for a long time. There's been limits on withdrawals. There's been companies who then backtrack and they kind of realize that if the country was cashless, and then the internet drops out or the power grid goes down, which I know is a bit of a far-fetched of happening, but if that were to take place and everything is cashless, how would one exchange value? They possibly don't think about these things because it's not, in their university courses and their possibly PhDs in their university courses, but don't think about the next thing that is coming. Now that's not to rip on them too hard because they would have some insane minds at that level and would be possibly preparing for things. Maybe they're the ones molding our future. Who knows, right? But here, I'll play this one through. I will just make sure the audio comes through loud and clear. Look, desktop audio should be capturing. I'll play it through this one, otherwise you might get an echo. Right, yeah.
$1 billion worth of notes have disappeared from circulation in the past 12 months. It follows the Commonwealth Bank's decision to start trialling cashless branches across Sydney. Economists say a cashless society will hurt criminals on the black market, but will make life more difficult for...
So it's like, you've all heard the saying, the famous saying that it is like putting a frog in a saucepan and putting that onto the stove. If you put the frog into direct burning water, their first instinct will be to react. They'll understand they're under attack. Their muscles will kick in. It will burn them as well. And they want to get the fuck out of there as soon as possible. They will jump. But if, however, you put it in the water nice and slow, drop it in carefully to a nice pleasant temperature, and slowly turn the temperature up. Now, I've never done this, so I'm not explaining how to be cruel to animals here. I'm just explaining an analogy whereby if you slowly turn the water up, the frog, I've never done it, but it may not realize what is going on. And eventually it will get to the point where it's boiling. At that point, it's most likely dead. Which is unpleasant. Yeah? So you can hear my sighs, the great sigh. Just do a stream of sighing like Sheldon from Big Bang Theory or something. So let's pause. We see the great push to remove checks from the economy, to remove cash, to remove coins. So now some branches they're going cash free. I just thought, imagine if someone goes into rob a bank one day. Everyone, get on the floor. Give me all the cash. And they'll be like, Oh, we have to fill out a form for that. Can you come back in about 6 months and we'll have the cash ready for you? That's that'd be like a cartoon, yeah? You know, there's comics. That's like where the country's going. Now, I mean, that's fine because we're all so well crypto people who are in, have been in from inception of Bitcoin, all the way through to the development of Ethereum, all the way through to the development and evolution of DeFi. Um, all of us are, 100% fucking digital, aren't we? Bullshit. Bullshit. I only say that. I know you don't like it to hear that, but when you go to purchase some things, you most likely have to purchase it with either a credit card or an equivalent, which is cash. Now, for the longest time, we have been replacing cash. When was the last time? When was the last time you had to, I don't know, drop off a payroll to to your local branch because your business had conducted the whole week's? Sorry, when was the last time you had to take all your business's earnings to the bank and drop it off in cash, and then take the payroll out, and then have the cash, and then pay everyone, I don't know, in an envelope or something? I would say not very often in this day and age because of the way the gas is being slowly turned up, or the electric stove, because they're banning gas stoves in Victoria as of 2024 for new house buildings, which I thought was a fucking joking conspiracy, but it's true. Now, this footing that we are currently in is footing toward the ESG, the cashless society, the forced medical treatments. You know, some things may work, some things may not. See, I think people are pushing back against the forced medical treatment. More data is coming out, and people are, making their own decision. They're seeing side effects. Some people aren't seeing any at all, and now that discussion can be had whether or not you want to risk those side effects, which are fewer in number relative to people who experienced any adverse reactions to a medical treatment at all that they know of currently. Because again, you need data, and over time, as things develop, maybe you'll get more data. Now, that's one particular topic, the medical treatment of people. Medication, the pharmaceutical industrial complex in its entirety, right there. If you want to dig into that rabbit hole and feel like learning a bit about why, the doctors may prescribe medications and whatnot versus pushing alternative lifestyles, that is sort of the simplified version of an argument why, if you are in the business of healing sick people, what is your incentive to have a population of healthy people? I think I've said this over and over and over again, possibly on an old channel, but I'll have to bring it back because now I might actually have some people to listen to me, kind of. Now, it's getting scary because we are seeing the move towards a cash-free society. And what can we do about it? We can hoard cash. What about if you go to the gym and the gym then tells you we no longer accept cash because of the potential for robberies? Because if someone goes to rob them and they have cash, then they can take the cash. Like this is what actually happened to me. This was years ago, and I was like, okay. What do? You pay on your card. And is not your card a very similar piece of equipment to a central bank digital currency? Yes, it is, except so far it is the banks that have the ability to shut you off, as opposed to whatever will control a central bank digital currency. This is why I keep trying to. I don't know where I got this talking point from. I just one day thought, this is fucked. If they bring out a central bank digital currency that controls us all, or allows us to be tracked and traced, like something out of the communist Chinese party regime, I don't like that. How do we stop this? Do I just alert people and let them think about it? Like, who do we reach out to? Honestly, don't know. I feel like just making these videos is not actually achieving that much. I need to either maybe get into a position of power, or maybe just tell other people my thoughts, and then maybe, just maybe, you might tell someone who tells someone who tells someone else who tells someone else, and that has a flow-on effect, a ripple effect, so to speak, and that could change the timeline. You never know. One simple thing that you do could change the entire future without you knowing. You might you might say hello to a stranger and give them. You might smile at someone. That might stop them literally from killing themselves that day. Who knows? You know, you just never know. Or you might say hello. You might smile at someone, and it might cheer them up, which might make them work better, which might lead to a breakthrough in something, which could lead to a breakthrough in something else. Like you just never know what could happen. Now, this is why I think a lot of people, I think in cryptocurrencies that I've experienced, um, in places, I guess, like the Hexagon community where people are more open, um, do have a positive outlook on life. Now, and they're also aware, though, I believe, they're also strongly aware that there are a fuck ton of scammers out there. And they do want to take your money. And I've experienced multiple scams. Multiple. I think 2017 was peak scam. Possibly, 2018 maybe, though. 2017, 2018, around that phase for me anyway. Peak scam. I missed out on Mt. Gox, thank God, but that was also pretty scammy shit. Now off topic, but back to this. So cash-free society, it's coming. It's fucked. I don't know what to do about it. Tell as many people as you can. Disagree. Pay with cash. Use cash. You know. I'm trying to figure out myself now. Maybe I need to start pulling out some. I don't know. Do it safely, do it logically, think about it. Come up with your own plan. You tell me in the comments what you think a wise way to deal with this is, because what if one day you need cash? I know dirty fiat should all be going into fucking hex stakes if you ask me, but again, it's not financial advice. You know, this is not. Or I would probably go to Pulse. I'd probably go to Hex. I would probably burn that shit. I don't care what people say. I think Hex is king. Now, that being a side note, because I don't know where to go next. So I'll do it from my tabs. We had the cash becoming slowly more cash. Australia becoming slowly more cashless thanks to the incentives put forward by the banking system as a whole, because they have huge regulatory compliances they have to adhere to, constantly changing, constantly being updated. It's a fucking minefield for them. This is why I think they not support this. They're going to cashless branches. I think they're trying to block some transfers to crypto sites. It says monthly sums over 10,000 to be stopped, net from all your accounts. It does mention, though, it says, and of course, it's in the name of your safety. All in the name of your safety, it's always in the name of your safety. Now, I just did check. Thank you for tuning in. If you're watching, yeah, this is I found some pretty interesting stuff. Now I'll just keep going. Let's have a look. Greetings from Australia. Aha. I'm going to pose. Me too. Carbon social. Dude, don't even say that. Carbon. Fucking. Ugh. What though will disguise the carbon, which you're right. Carbon social credit is scary. Hoping it will not exist in my lifetime. You know? I think they're trying to roll out was it ESG? Is it economical? Oh my god, I can't even think of what it means. I'll look it up. If you've ever heard the term ESG, it is fascinating. It's basically saying the environmental, social, and governance. Now, I was learning about this early on in how many years ago was it now? It was a few years in accounting, right? In textbooks, this was being sold as this is a brand new field which you could work in. You could potentially, get ahead because you could learn about the ESG, social and governance scores. Would put together scorecards, the scorecard. What was the balanced scorecard? And as a part of it, you could basically control your entire organization. And part of it could be, an arm, a section, a tab of that could be focused on ESG. And if you have a strong ESG, you'll be a more profitable company. You'll be able to, report this on your annual statements and be able to tell the world how wonderful you are. And I'm like, hang on. It didn't make, I was like, okay, cool. ESG is just like a topic that we're going to go over. I'm pretty sure it was a whole topic. So I had to hear about that shit for a long time. And now I go back and look and go, hang on. This is why I found the accounting degree so interesting. Now, I'm going off track here, but I find it so interesting because they basically ingrain into you how you should function and how you should think, and how you should run your business. So it's very fascinating. If you ever get the chance to, or you want to, dive deep into some of the accounting, dive deep into some of the law. It's worth looking into. I mean, you can work in if you want, if you can stand it. But the way that you're taught, you're literally schooled in university. It's wonderful if you want to get a job. I'm not knocking the entire system, but when you really step back and think about it, who invented university? Did they actually go to university? They didn't. They invented it. So therefore, if you want to invent something, you're going to repeat the same thing everyone else knows, and think somehow you're going to come up with something so unique. I know this is a bit of a jump, but did Einstein? Did he study everything, and come up with these groundbreaking fucking equations, through doing the same thing everyone else did? I don't think he did. We need to be more like Einstein. Actually, I don't know about that because he had some interesting history as well. Apparently, he liked the ladies a little bit too much. But anyway, now I was checking. Yeah, the whole world, man. ESG companies, or woman, because you got to say the right words now, otherwise you could get cancelled. In some, apparently in some counties, some states in the US, if you call the person the wrong name, you could get ripped into legally. And I'm like, what the fuck? That's a whole nother area. Now, ESG scoring company is very similar to CV. Yeah, 110% correct. If, for instance, you it's like you could create an entire lecture, series of lectures about ESG, and it's basically trying to be used to manipulate businesses' decisions, to move them toward things that will logically crush them financially, economically. They make no sense. It's like, at the moment, if every single person in the world had an electric vehicle, now I think electric vehicles are cool, but have you seen when they fucking crash? Holy shit. They go bang. There's a YouTube video on it. And it's fucking scary because you want to be wrapped in a fire blanket within a fire blanket and have fire extinguishers going off, and you still might not control that burn. That is how hot that fucking shit burns. I have a Tesla battery, and that fucking thing scares the fuck out of me if that ever goes off. I have fire extinguishers all through the house just in case, because it wouldn't be like I'm gonna go put this fire out. It'd be like I'm gonna stop shit from burning from the heat that's gonna come from this fucking lithium battery. Now, where was I? Yeah, and so imagine if every car was one of these things. There probably is not enough materials to be able to produce. Now, there might be, I don't know, but you try and order some of these cars, they're taking a long time to produce. I don't know whether it's the chips, the components, or whatever it is, the supply chain issues. I just don't think there's enough material to produce them. And also, they're extremely dirty to produce. They are, you have a look into how rare earth minerals are, I guess, refined. They're not rare. They're fucking everywhere. They're just so dirty to produce. Most of them are done in countries that don't have these, what am I trying to say? So if you have a strong ESG score, right, you wouldn't want to be producing rare earth minerals. But the rare earth minerals required to make everything adhere to the ESG, you need. So does that make, it's just a mind fuck. And it's like saying we don't, ESG is good because we're going to cut down on coal, so we're going to turn off all the power, and we're going to be sitting around in the fucking dark, or have more likely have prices going through the fucking roof. If you live in Australia as well, you'll probably see this. And you're sitting there going, well, I'm adhering to the ESG. I'm doing such a wonderful thing. Hurrah. So hang on. My electricity bill is so expensive right now because we shut down all the coal power plants. Some states are about to ban, I always thought this was a joke, ban gas fittings, ban gas from main gas connections to a new dwelling. Now, if that was me, like I said, I would be getting an external gas bottle if that's allowed, if that's legal. Again, I'm not telling anyone to break any laws here. I'm just saying I would even ask if I can have a fucking wood fire oven installed in the house. Can I have a wood fire heater? Can I have, I'll be like, seriously, you're telling me I can't have gas? How am I going to heat my goddamn house at night? Use electricity. Gonna go through the fucking roof. Like, assume you don't have what's it called? Depending on how your house is set up. The ESG, I feel like it's being designed to bring down countries like Australia. It's absolutely fucking nonsense. But it's being pushed in accounting degrees. It's being pushed politically. It's being pushed probably through even media advertising as a positive thing to do, which is fine. But when you logically tell me I can't have things like gas, and when you tell me my bills are expensive, and when you tell me, you're going to phase out cars next, you're like, okay, so I'm supposed to buy a brand new Tesla. How am I going to afford that shit? It's very, I don't know what they're trying to achieve with this ESG thing. But yeah. I think they're trying to. I'm basically against it, generally speaking. Now, I want clean energy. I want clean energy. I want clean energy that works. It's cheap, and I want clean air, clean water. I'm against pollution. That's fine, but that's different from imposing taxes on things that will help the country function. Like, I don't think we should be causing us to die death by 1,000 cuts because of something that sounds good, like a good story. It's like, no, fuck that. We need things to evolve. Maybe we come up with a new technology. That's another rabbit hole. Imagine if there was a clean technology, and that would put an end to coal, gas, and oil. That would be shut down so fast by the big oil cartels. Like that. Imagine you go into a business meeting. Oh, I have a proposal to kill all of the fucking oil stocks, and the companies hold all the oil stocks. All oil stocks. What the? I don't think that would fly. Yeah, dude. I'm hearing. I can't remember the article, but I've heard also carbon. I'm pretty sure humans are, carbon or something along the lines of that. It's like, let's eliminate the carbon. It's like, hang on, what the? Maybe, just maybe that's no. I hope not. I would hope that they're not trying to eliminate carbon-based life form, because if humans are carbon-based life form, which we are, we're not like silicone, then that could be an issue. It's probably not being taught in university degrees, and these people that get the university degrees are the ones that get into the management, who then run with the groups that are formed, the boards, the lobbyists, and then they feed their information into the politics, and then we get ruled over by these things. And if we don't engage in politics, and how we're going to sit back and just whinge and not actually do anything, then we have free will, right? And so if our free will is to do nothing and that other people tell us how we should function, then we're fucked. I think that's the point of these videos, to be honest. And things that I think that they are trying to attack us all, take away all of our freedoms, yeah, so back to the thing. I've heard similar, basically trying to kill the farmers and killing their lifestyle, which does what? Kills the food chain, kills the ability to get and source that particular meat, and then that just wrecks supply chains. That puts all of that stuff, if it is even produced, the prices through the roof. It becomes unaffordable. Then you smack on top of that maybe a carbon tax, maybe an ESG tax. Then on top of that, you smack on top of that CBDCs and telling you can only fucking buy X amount of protein because of the ESG. You know, you can see, if you if you really think about it, you could see it coming, you know, but because it's not being talked about or taught in lectures, it's not being spoken about in the halls of politics as much as it should be. It's not being spoken about even at the dinner table. You know, so you'd say this to some people, they think you're fucking crazy, and then it happens, and then it's like, I was telling you that, and they go, "Oh no, I heard it from the news. That's where I get my information from. I hear it from the." It's like, hang on, the news is how far behind generally? How many times have they got it wrong? The saying you shouldn't read everything you hear in the paper. Jesus fucking Christ, people. Sorry, I shouldn't. Was it blasphemy? Not good. Now, and also, yeah, not good for the audience. Apologies. Now, the age of decadence, distance, do you want to? Yeah, I will look. I'm not familiar with that stuff off the top of my head. But yeah, interesting stuff off YouTube will probably get fucking censored and cancelled into oblivion. It sucks. It really sucks. I don't know why. I hope they change it. Twitter, on the other hand, I don't know if you guys saw this. Twitter said if you've ever posted anything online, I'll pull it up. If you've ever posted anything online which led to issues with your current, I think it said current employer, or led to your employer, you know, they will fund all the legal action. And I was like, dude, fucking Elon, unless it was a joke. It could have been a joke. Because I'm so fucking tempted to just post all the shit that my old employer did to me, the contract, the fucking everything, just chuck it online, maybe black out some personal details, not to dox myself too hard, and then if anything does happen, then I'll be like, well, I got fucking this one here. I have some backing from Twitter, bringing the big guns. Now, again, if it was a joke, that would suck people are going nuts over it. Now, if you are unfairly treated by your employer due to posting or liking something on this platform, we will find your legal bill. No limit. Please let us know. I'll put that out there. All right, move on from my ramblings. So, yeah, so ESG, CBDCs, Cashless Australia, banking systems trying to save us from ourselves. My biggest issue with this is, why should I be told how I can spend my money as an adult of sound mind? If I want to spend my money on fucking candy, you know, an adult, I should be able to, right? But if the bank is saying, no, we're gonna limit your amount of candy purchases because we're the fucking nanny nation, nanny state, who wants to surveil you? Have you gone for a drive lately? Have you seen how many CCTV cameras there are everywhere? Dude. Which is fine. It stops things from taking place, which is fine. It also, you know, is extremely invasive in your privacy. Like the other day, I was driving around, got pulled over again for no reason. What's your name? And this time it was a bit more friendly. And they're like, okay, alcohol check, clear. Okay, you're free to go. But I was like, why? What? I was literally doing nothing wrong. Literally doing nothing wrong. Meanwhile, some criminal somewhere else got away. You know, well done, surveillance system. Now, if they can get things like that wrong, you know, what makes you think they could get other things wrong? Oh, look, banks banning you, limiting you how you spend your own money. That can't be wrong. Please, this can't be the timeline I'm living in. Now, it says keyword here: we may limits. You can pay. So if it was me and I had more than that, before I did it, especially, I would be going into that particular bank if you can even find anyone to deal with you. To deal with you. If you can even find any human interactions, so maybe book a meeting or something with a private banker, business bank, whatever it is, and explain to them what is going on as to why you're moving this money and how it's like moving through cryptocurrency, maybe, just maybe, you might be okay. But by the sounds of it, my take is if they take C transactions, and it's like from crypto.com, which is actually a website, funny enough. And then, they see like, oh, that maybe that's picked up by however it picked up. Insta ban. That is messed up shit. Like, you shouldn't have to think about that. What if you want to have more than 120,000 Australian, which is not much in US, a year? Good luck. You can't. So it's like, oh, I'm in crypto. Oh, okay, so you're earning 120,000 a year before tax. Maximum. Get the fuck out of here. The bank should not be able to stop you spending your own money. Simple as that. But yeah, again, keyword may, although I don't like it. I don't like it at all. It may suspend or close your account, cancel or suspend your card or other access methods. So maybe you're doing, however you're doing it. Again, keyword may. I would contact the banks and just fucking push back as hard as I can, because if no one pushes back, they go, oh, we did a survey and we found that no one opposed us. I think there was one person that might have been undecided. But yeah, besides them, they all said, fuck it, we don't like cash anymore. This is how they make their fucking decisions. Like, maybe in the board meeting, they brought this up and they're like, we spent X amount of money in research. Hey, we have this article here. We have, this source of information here, this source of information here. We have university level articles. We have research saying that if we stop people from using crypto, then they can't get scammed through crypto. I was like, fucking genius. You guys are fucking geniuses, bravo. And then they're saying, oh, and the reason why we need to ban cash is because criminals use cash. Oh, and criminals use crypto. Oh, that's even more reason we could have banned both of it. It's like, yeah, what happens when there's a blackout? Oh, no, that'll never happen. And there's a blackout. What will happen if your systems go down? That'll never happen. Oh, and the systems go down. Like, I don't and the thing is, think about it. The people, I would say, now this is not ageist, I guess, the people that are running like at the very top, I would not say are of the same age as someone who, like myself, well, not that young, but someone who's even younger than I, who has even more information, who is even more cutting edge, on the pinnacle of fucking crypto development, evolution, right? They would have a lot better ideas and a greater understanding. As people in tech themselves who are working with the latest tech, they would have the greatest understanding of what the fuck is actually going on. And yet they're not the ones making the decisions. We're being told, well, until AI kicks in and just takes over everything, we're being told by a bunch of fucking old dinosaurs, I mean that in the nicest possible way, how to fucking live. We have politicians, how old are they, generally speaking? We have people at the top of the banks, generally, on the, if there was a scale of 1 to 10, none of them would be, say, a 5. There'd be maybe 5 or 6 at the younger end. Maybe they're older. I don't know. But, like, look at the US president. He's aging. He's not gracefully, I would say. He's not aging gracefully, I would say. His aging is not graceful. Watch his speeches. This is not. I'm starting to get so sick of politics, because basically we need politics to be able to help us, and if we need to get helped by politicians with more politics, that's kind of fucked. That's like if you're in jail and you're asking the prison guards for help. Can I go free? No. Oh, can I have some water? Yes. Oh yeah. Okay. Cool. Anyway, in saying that, I think we need to try and push back where we can, Dude, I'm very close to that age, which is funny because we're potentially both in crypto. I remember I was like, no one else fucking even knew how to use the internet. Like, I got my first Pentium 3 and broke it so bad. Like, what the fuck I was doing. But little did I know that was a learning stepping stone, understanding how to use computers. And it's not like I understood the code as anything as much at all, really. It was more, or except for like, when you muck around with games and change the fucking. Anyway, I don't know if you guys ever played Red Alert, and you could go into the register edit. You could change the fucking register and change the ability once you've installed the game. Change like a 1 here or there. It would have a different effect on the game. Anyway, because I found that stuff interesting, and I learned how to use websites. I learned basically how to navigate the internet, how to use the search engines, how to use fucking email and shit, downloading the peer-to-peer. What else? Downloading videos, shit like that. Just simple shit, like, which today is just everywhere. And it's just fascinating how far it's fucking come. Remember, I don't know, you would remember dial-up then. Oh my god, dial-up. I would stay up, leave the computer running, for hours and hours just to get like one song. Now it's like just go straight through. What else? Yeah, I remember we used to buy it the time. It would be like X amount of hours, and that's how I'd use the internet. Oh, it's fucking some interesting stuff, man. Oh, dude, I remember trying to install an MS-DOS game because my computer, because I figured out that I couldn't download any game. Like, my computer would barely play games, and I'm like, these things are fucking heaps of like, this is like over 100 megabytes. This is fucked. I can never download this fucking shit. And then, the speed was like 25 kbs or some shit. Not even. It was like peak speed. And then, I'm like, okay, I'll find some games. I've got to find some MS-DOS games because they're the only fucking things that'll work. I'm like, these things are so fucking small. Yes. And I'm like, I remember I downloaded this Chopper game, and it was like fucking 12. Not even. You remember the ones? No, yeah, it was 3.5. Not the real flat ones. The ones with the side bit that would slide across. I think they're 3.5. I had like about 12 box of fucking floppy disks. I got the fucking thing to work. I was like, download. Next disc, floppy disk. I was quite impressed. It was the fucking most shittest game I ever played in my life. It's probably a virus, to be honest. I remember the fucking chat boards, man. You used to refresh the page, and it wasn't even like a chat room, but like new shit would appear. I found the fucking crazy shit when I was young, man. The most interesting topic I found on the internet when I was that age would have had to be in the time travel story with James J. Tidor. What else? Dude, there was just so much shit. Because I was so young, I was just like, this shit's fucking awesome. Flash games. Oh yeah, that was later. Fuck yeah, I think that was later. Oh, a little bit later. This was like, was it Flash games? It was like online games and shit, you'd play each other. But I remember basically though, I had a fucking huge break from technology. Like, it was, so I did all that. I reckon 1999, around near the fucking Y2. Remember the Y2K bug? We're gonna get fucking wiped off the fucking face of the planet. You know what I fucking did when I heard about the Y2K bug? Yeah, that's the one. So the first thing I did with the Y2K bug, not the first thing, but when you like thinking about this shit, I'm like, okay, so all the computers gonna crash on. Yeah, dude. Oh, dude. Doom was the best. Doom was the fucking best. Well, back in that day, I think I went from consoles. I used to fucking play heaps of games, man. I like on Super Nintendo and stuff, and then 64. But then I can't remember what order it happened. Then I found the internet, and basically I had a choice between the internet or Foxtel. Parents like, all right, which one do you want? Fucking Foxtel or the internet? We can't afford both. I think, and they wanted Foxtel so bad, but they could see I was just fucking obsessed with the internet. I destroyed my computer so bad with porn though. The funniest shit. Oh my god. And then, which funnily enough always seems to have the best tech, in terms of their website designs and shit like that. Anyway, what else? Yeah, so I had a huge break though. I was like, trying to learn heaps of shit about computers. Then I basically didn't touch a computer for like fucking 10, 20, no. Oh, it was a while. Dude. Was it 2000-ish, I would say. And then I had some lots of shit happen. And then 2000, fuck, 2006, 7? Might have been after that. So 2008, when the GFC happened, I heard about it fucking everywhere, and so I decided to study accounting. I got interested in the stock market. Sorry, that fucking wrecked me because I did some stupid shit, and then flowing on from that, then I wanted to learn about accounting, basically to be able to read financial statements, to be able to try and pick stocks easier and better, and understand how businesses actually fucking work, versus like a story you hear on a fucking forum. So I reckon, I think, fuck, I'd have to go back. Yeah, I had a huge break anyway. Well, not a huge break, but a little bit of a break. And I came back and things were like insanely different. It went from dial up to like, fiber, or I can't remember what I went to. I volunteered at a record store in South Australia 1 day a week. My boss sometimes gives me free music. Oh, dude, nice. Oh, you're creeping me out, man. You're from South Australia too, which is good, which is very good. What's it called? That is very cool, man. If you're a Hexagon, that is very cool. If you're not, even extra cool. I'm guessing you're Hexagon though. Yeah, Hexagon's worldwide. What was I gonna say? Yeah, I found a lot of shit. I mean, that was fascinating, man. Yeah, we'll go back to the article. Yeah, man. Follow me on Twitter. I'll follow you back. I should set up a day, and South Australian Hexagons should all come to the range, and we'll shoot some clays. I don't know if you see. I'm a bit obsessed with clay shooting. I really enjoy it. Now where is it? Yeah, this here. So some people are against. They're against fucking crypto because criminals could use it. So hang on. How many times have the banks been fined for the shit they pull, and they just pay the fine? They give a fuck because they weigh it up and go, oh, so we've rigged the LIBOR rate. But we calculated that we made so much fucking money, we don't give a fuck, and we'll just pay the fine. And that is like how, not all banks, not all the time, but in that instance, my analysis is that's how their mind works. That's fucking evil, man, because that shouldn't happen, and it does, and that's at the highest fucking level of finance, and that was a huge thing. Now, what's it called? We should call this the South Australian fucking Hexagon stream, I reckon. Now, what have we got? Yeah. Negative. I just don't like the banks telling anyone how they should spend their fucking money. I don't like the banks telling me how I should spend my money, especially if it's on something that's legal. And then you see the fucking things like the ESG. You see things like other countries have the social credit score. You see politicians talking about, did you hear about the fucking misinformation, disinformation act? I had to put my thoughts against that because I'm like, dude, what if you start telling me about, for instance, religion or how many genders there are? And then if I say the wrong thing about those things, that's misinformation. Or if I say the misinformation act itself is, questionable as to why it needs to exist, what if the government then has the power to say that's misinformation and rip all that shit off the internet? Fuck that. It should be, people should have informed consent. They're the adults. They can make their own mind up. And if some bullshit comes on the internet, you should be able to just tell if that's bullshit or not, And if you disagree with it, you can have an argument with it. And the stronger argument wins with more logic. That's how it should all work. Not this, we don't like crypto, let's just ban this shit. So, hang on. You fucking let crypto thrive. But what if crypto presents a better opportunity for everyone than traditional finance does? Then what? And then you're going to ban it? And then you have to explain to everyone why it is you have banned it or trying to ban it. That's fucked up. It's like when YouTube started censoring everyone, right? If imagine trying to be a small YouTube streamer now, talking about borderline fringe things. How is anyone ever going to discover you on YouTube? They're not, because YouTube, if you say the wrong thing, slightly worded, I think the other day they took all this content off of Max Kaiser's fucking. Now I know he doesn't like. I don't think he likes anything other than Bitcoin. But that's no reason to hate him. That's no reason for him to have his fucking free speech censored. That's insane. Why YouTube? Why? Why at this point in time? What did he say? You know, something. What triggered that? And even if I don't agree with him, he should be able to say whatever he wants. Like, dude, because eventually these people are going to realize. I'll move on. Things like this, like people are going to be like, hang on, nice, thank you. I'll follow you back. Hang on, we'll do it live on stream. See, this is what people are trying to. I honestly think, in the ideal world, to control individuals, you need to keep them isolated and make them feel like they're alone, and then that way, you know, you can believe, you can watch TV and you believe whatever you want to believe. I think it's that one, possibly. Yeah, South Australia, cool. All right, please don't be a serial killer or a Fed. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. All right, now, what's it called? Or even worse would be a serial killer Fed. Imagine that. All right, sorry YouTube, that was a joke. Clearly, it was a joke. Don't ban stream, please. The good thing though is if I put all of this on, for instance, Twitter now, because this is direct stream to Twitter. I wonder if anything were to happen. Oh, it was more employees though, yeah. Different. I was thinking more about if I start ripping out all the bullshit my employer sent me through, and I'd be like, what the fuck? But then if I put it on, you know, if I have any issues with them saying you can't do that, I'll be like, well, Mr. Elon Musk, you know, saying, giving you the middle finger. Now, what's this? What was that? Now, this here, it kind of sums up the logic. It's like, now I'm not a lawyer, right? Especially not a lawyer in fucking another country, which I don't live in or am a citizen of. I don't know, somehow I'm drawn to, I sometimes think like I live in the wrong country, I'm not sure. Now, the SEC lawsuit wipes out 500 million in Hex market cap, okay? So it's like, okay, cool. Thanks a fucking lot. So imagine you're an investor, I fucking hate it. Imagine you hold cryptocurrency, right? And, you know, you are like sitting there chilling, and then the SEC goes bang and drops the hammer on some fuck knows where they got the information from lawsuit. And you just got wrecked. Somewhat, you know? Yeah, 100%, man. Well, that's hopefully, right? So, say you've got that, like, I don't know, this sounds crazy. There was a business back in when this whole thing was going down with the virus. Yeah. And someone made it like, if you are vaccinated, you can't enter the store. The point, I think this is my take. My take was that this is how you would, for instance, you know, fight back against whatever's supposedly the thing to do. Now, what I mean is, like, you know, companies were saying we're banning people who are unvaccinated from entering. So this person was like, well, fine, I'll make the opposite. Now, again, that was just, I'm not so saying people do that. Well, it doesn't even matter anymore because it's been and gone. But pointing that out, you know, if everyone, I think you might have seen that video. If you're talking about this sort of thing, I possibly might have seen a video where a guy, I can't remember what country was in, possibly the UK. He's like, there was a shop and they basically made it cashless. And he's like, basically said, fuck you, like nicely. He didn't swear and carry on. He just here's the money. I am paying my money. Here is the money. I'm putting it on the counter, and I'm leaving with my strawberries. So if all business owners, small business owners, well, in somewhere like South Australia, for instance, said, well, okay, you say you want us all to use this CBDC. No, we'll keep using our cash. That's fine. If we're paying our taxes, that's fine too. It's all good. Like we don't want any issue, but like we're not using your fucking CBDC, you know. But I think the thing that will be difficult is, um, if a CBDC is rolled out, and businesses are forced to comply, and then it's like, okay, well, the large companies, they probably won't even have a record store, you know. You won't be able to buy any of these record players, antique stuff. Where are you going to buy antiques from in a cashless society that only accepts CBDCs? How are collectors going to even function? You only be able to function if you partake in the system, similar to Visa or Mastercard. That's how I think it will be rolled out. I don't have any timelines or anything like that. I just find this stuff interesting to think about. And logically, if I can imagine it, other people a lot smarter than me probably have already thought about it. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that would suck, man. That sounds like the best job in the world, working in a record store, just fucking chilling all day, looking at records. uh, but yeah, so back to this here, the people who are supposed to be against crypto, they're the ones coming out dropping lawsuits everywhere against all of crypto. You're supposed to tell me I'm supposed to cheer for these people? Fuck that. You know? I honestly think, this point in time, I was having this thought. I think a few others have mentioned the same as well. I held back on saying it, but I actually think if it also could be, a Goldilocks scenario where everything's perfect and the three bears don't eat Goldilocks in a violent way, and come to a violent end. I'm saying if all this bullshit plays out, it could potentially put all of this in the headlight. I don't know whether it's Richard Hart himself, and it could actually rally cryptocurrencies, all of cryptocurrencies, because they'll start to realize, maybe they already have, but they're starting to see the SEC verse not just one crypto, not just one person in crypto, but all of crypto, and then it becomes like an alliance. An attack on one is like an attack on all of crypto, and at that point in time, then you can see everyone rallying potentially behind a head figure. Maybe it's Richard Hart, I don't know. Maybe it just becomes so huge the entire DeFi movement rallies together. All of crypto rallies together really hard. Maybe then we see things like Richard Hart on shows, really large shows, like potentially Joe Rogan's, the large one I can think of at the moment. Whether or not that would even be a positive, because I remember, who was it? There was a crypto guy who went on there a while ago, but because I didn't find that interesting at the time, I didn't actually go out and go, oh, there's that crypto, I'm gonna buy that shit. That may not have the same effect. I would more be inclined to think it would be everyone realizing there's just a fucking huge attack on crypto and everyone just needs to rally. And similarly, if all of crypto realizes, that CBDCs are coming, things like that, things that are against freedom, and they can react accordingly. Like maybe they'll go out and open businesses and only accept cash. I don't know. Oh, cool. Hey, what's happening, Dart? Check it out, Dart. Sorry, I'll give you that nickname. I don't know if you like it or not. This guy, Angel, he's actually in the same state as me, and I'm like, no shit, small world. That's pretty cool. Yeah, so I've been here for a long time, man. I was real young, came here. Put your tinfoil hat on and sip your beer. But we might have to replace the tinfoil hat because all this stuff you've probably heard a million times the same saying. All of the previous conspiracies, even the UFO stuff, is now coming true. And I don't know. It's kind of funny. I don't like it though because the bad stuff could be coming true too as well. But it's getting yeah. It's like we're going down the rabbit hole and just digging up fucking gold nuggets. Like, look at this shit. I told you this is real. I told you this is real. I told you this is happening. And I think people in cryptocurrency are also like, yeah, what the fuck? What is this eat the bugs? What is this CBDC? What? What do you mean? I want crypto. I want freedom, you know? It's bad enough I have to pay tax on this shit. And now you're saying, hang on, I might not be able to access it because the bank is limiting my transactions. Because a central bank digital currency being issued by fuck knows who is going to come over and provide what oversight on all of the world. That sounds insane. And then what do? Oh, then they wreck the price of one of the people holding this were supposed to be victims allegedly. And where's the victims? They are supposed to be, you know, protected by the SEC somehow, and so the SEC decided to crush the price of the thing that they're holding. Like, what sort of logic is this? Unless the logic is purely to try and destroy cryptocurrency, because you know, or you could go deeper down the conspiracy theory and say maybe they're just trying to kill it, crush it, so some big players, some big entities could come in, buy shit up real cheap, or get rid of the competition, or you know, a mixture somewhere between that. That's quite possible as well because we do see the BlackRock ETF and things like that. But however, here in Australia, man, we can already buy, like, not providing financial advice, but we, like I said, there's a fucking app that I can invest in and like literally put money into like fiat, and it allocates 5% to a fucking fund. And they I don't know how, I haven't read their product disclosure. How they actually invest in cryptocurrency. I'm assuming it's Bitcoin or something. But yeah, so I'm like, dude, that shit like that is already here. So I'm not sure what it is that whoever's in control wants with cryptocurrency. You know? Yeah. Moving on. Yeah, this one here. I just thought this was fucking interesting because, like, you read the headline. So yeah, thanks, SEC. Like, you don't even operate my jurisdiction and you're fucking with me. Cheers. Now, this was interesting too. I don't know if you guys saw this. So this dude, Coin Bureau, I've never ever hear him. They're right. He didn't actually utter the words. I put it in a chat room before and I said, oh, I've never heard this guy utter the words hex. And they're like, he didn't. Oh, god damn, they're right. So I've never seen Coin Bureau even mention something that mentions hex. You know, this guy comes out and says, the real victims of a crypto Ponzi. I am sure that there are thousands more stories like, and he points out here, at least I'm pretty sure he makes videos. That's all I know. I messaged him on Twitter as well. He's saying, dude, have you seen this shit? He's saying that this is, you know, he's either spoken to him directly and said that he's a victim, or he's just reporting this because, you know, you scroll down a little bit, that says, and this is, I know it's Twitter, but it says that guy was early in Hex, it's up over 8,000% from January 2020, doesn't even include staking and the more valuable copy of Pulse Chain, because people don't even understand. They're looking at like the ETH version of Hex, and not even realizing it's been, you know, fucking the chain got forked and the entire state exists on Pulse Chain. So I'm not sure these people in charge of, or maybe they do, but I'm not sure these people in charge of what, investigating, running the fucking planet, somewhere in between there, even know what they're talking about versus the people actually building this thing. And this is the whole problem. Like, and this is why I think the internet combats this. And this is why I think it sounds silly, maybe everyone streaming combats this. People opening, like you said, people opening. Oh, I missed that, dude. My family fled communism and they lived in Eastern Europe. Now it's starting to go worldwide. Yeah, and this is the thing people are fucking noticing. That is a great comment. Sorry, I missed it. people who actually actually fled like real fucking tyranny, they're now saying, what the fuck? Like, why are things starting to sound more and more like, why is it shifting towards a bad fucking, I don't know, political ideology? Fucking a control state, a nanny state, a fucking tyrannical government, almost, you'd say. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like social credit scores, etc., CBDCs, etc. That doesn't sound like a free and open country. We're not like, to add to that, when I was doing a globalism is one of the topics. I was going through it, and it was explaining like the various, communism versus capitalism, and I had the definitions, and I said, hang on, my young new brain to that topic said, hang on, this shit sounds the same, just worded differently. But that can't be right. So, yeah, it's crazy. Maybe it's being misinterpreted. I don't know. And maybe young people are like, maybe the young people are doing the same thing, and they're thinking that they think like communism is good or something. Like it's insanity. I just don't understand. Like I haven't heard stories of communism ending positively. Basically, that's about all I know. I've read some stuff, see some stuff online, but yeah. And then you see like real people actually fleeing that shit, and now they're going, "What is going on? Hang on, what's going on?" And me myself, I'm just pointing out, going, dude, I don't like where this CBDC thing's going. And then I'm seeing Cashless Society articles. I'm seeing that they're cutting down on like, they're trying to cut down on crypto. Nah, that provides you freedom. Like, why would you ban entrepreneurs? I call myself an entrepreneur, and what I mean by that is, why would you ban someone who's trying to get rich off of very little? Shit, that happened a little bit with some cryptocurrency, then it got scammed out. It happened, then it got scammed out. And it happened with Hex. And, I have an entrepreneurial mindset. That's what I think of it. Could be insane mindset as well, so keep that in mind. I've always said to the missus, never do as I do. But, no, I can speak logically, but I might do some illogical things. Especially with regards to cryptocurrency, because the riskiest asset class, it also provides the highest returns. Now where was I? Yeah, I missed that comment. Damn. Now, yeah, I just find it interesting. Coin Bureau, like I said, I've never seen him ever cover Hex. He fucking covers every single channel. Sorry, a lot of cryptocurrency. This and that. I don't know if it's paid for shield. I don't know if it's some back deal they've got. I don't know. But I've never ever hear him talk about Hex. And now he's come out saying he is a victim of a Ponzi. I'm sure there are thousands of more stories out there. And instead, I'm seeing people going, no, what the fuck are you talking about? I just said, does this individual state this directly, or is this you reporting? Is this your reporting? Because that's a fair question, I think. I'm yet to hear from you. Now, that is about all I've got. This was kind of cool. Go Pulse. I have no idea where these guys came from, and where is it? When they allow, is it the wiki possibly? I think there's a referral link, and I don't know how it works, but it basically says you can refer people, and if they trade, you get some referral. Where is it here? Yeah, it's not active yet, so I won't put the link in the bottom. I haven't even used this platform yet. I did connect to it to a burner wallet. I would not suggest anyone connect anything with any real money to this thing. Anything at all. Unless you fucking, what's it called? You understand the risks. And that's not like even to just anything. Like, why would you risk your entire fucking stack on one particular potentially unsafe wallet? Even if the fucking thing is secure as fuck, just don't do it. Meanwhile, I've already connected some shit to it. That's what I'm saying. Don't do as I do. But yeah, so it appears to be like a DEX, pretty cool. It appears to be I can't even remember what I clicked on here. Chart, referral history, support, about, click on about. Yeah, interesting shit, Um, when more, when I've used it a little bit more, we'll talk about it a bit more because it seems kind of cool. I did like their ability to be able to purchase. I have to go back and watch my own streams because I remember there was this, another one. One was better for small amounts and you could trade in any cryptocurrency into Pulse. Another one was better for larger amounts. So depending on your rates, Again, YouTube and anyone looking at this, these are not paid for content, as you can tell. I'm not paid to say any of this. This is honestly my political free speech, which we have here in Australia, luckily. Pulsex. Yeah, that's about it. That's about it. It's good to meet you, Angel. Azariel 17. Thank you, Dart, for tuning in again. And if anyone else is in here, it might be me. Alright, cool. I'll close this one out because yeah, that's all I've got. Yeah, like seriously, people. How can we accept? I'll make a closing comment. How can we accept banks telling us how we can and can't spend our money without at least pushing back a little bit on them, saying, please, just leave us alone. Just let us be free. Leave us alone. That's all I'm trying to say. Thank you for tuning in, everyone. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Close out. Peace.